With these kind of works, I don't have a final picture in my head, but what I'm trying to convey is a feeling and a narrative. I was an eye surgeon at Drakemore Hospital from 1994 until I retired, probably about 6 years ago. And then after that I started to come to the Wasp Studios, and now I'm an artist. It was something that I'd enjoyed at school but had stopped doing after second year. Science subjects took over and embarked on a medical career. So when I knew I was heading for retirement, a close friend, another eye surgeon, who was going to art classes, he suggested that I come along, and I did that at Milburn Academy. Hugh Kirkwood was the artist that was taking the classes, and I enjoyed it and found that it all came flooding back. I discovered that I could still draw, and then with Hugh's guidance I started to learn how to use colour. And during pandemic and then the first lockdown, I had been working in the studio here, and then because of lockdown was unable to come here, so I set up a studio in my kitchen, and I was, spending time painting things, looking out into the garden, things like that. And then I saw on Channel 4 News an item about an artist called Tom Croft, who he had devised this way of saying thank you to the workers in the NHS, nurses, doctors, ambulance drivers, anybody really that was in the front line. And he asked them to send Instagram photographs that they might want to be made into portraits. And this sort of struck a chord with me. I'm a figurative artist in the main, and enjoy painting portraits, so I thought, why don't I try and join this initiative? So that's what I did. And through Instagram, doctors, nurses sent me images, and I painted a portrait. I set myself the task of painting a portrait a day, 4 hours maximum to paint a portrait, and then sent it back to them by post as a thank you for their hard work and their what they've done for us during the pandemic. And the feedback I got was great. They seemed to like the paintings, and it sort of kept snowballing. So over the course of the time that I did it, I painted 37 portraits. I like dogs and I like horses, and I think horses are fascinating because they have a great sense of movement and dynamism, and I'm always trying to achieve that sense of energy in the paintings that I do of horses. I try to be more abstract when I'm painting animals, just because it lends that sort of form lends itself to that dynamism, that energy. So it's something that I love doing. Yeah. There's some parts of this that I'm happy with, and others that I'm still uncertain about, and it will probably change and progress as some things work and some things don't. So I did want to, the initial phase of this is with the drawing, and then I wanted to add some flesh to the main character. The main character's face may not remain like that, but I just wanted to get some colour down so that the colours could start to relate to each other. And then I can make decisions about whether to include other colours or maintain background coming through, things like that. So lots of little decisions that are made as the process goes on. And if I find that things when I'm in the flow and things are happening quickly and I'm making the right decisions, then things are going well. But as my decision making slows down and things become more difficult, I'll often put the piece aside and just let it sit for a while, maybe several weeks, and then go back to it. But a lot of pieces like this start out with a particular concept, and it may even change the concept later on, but at the moment it's this feeling of trying to convey this sense of betrayal that is very prominent in society at the moment. So my motivation really was, I was affected by the plight of refugees coming from Syria and also more recently from Ukraine, and the journeys that they were having to make across Europe and across Mediterranean and again across the Channel to get to safety. And I just wanted to try and capture the trauma and the difficulty and the stress and the danger that they were going through. I didn't want to be accused of appropriation because I haven't experienced what they're suffering, but I wanted to invoke in the viewer a degree of empathy with their situation and an understanding that these people, these human beings, are really fleeing some terrible conflicts, trying to become safe, and trying to be with loved ones. And I was also wanting to counter the quite aggressive rhetoric that was coming from other quarters with regard to their situation, and yeah, that was really my motivation. Again, my granddaughter Naomi, I've tried to paint a portrait of her since I started, at least once a year, just as a record of her growing up. She's a great muse, if you like, and so I include her as portraits, but I also use her as a model for some of my figurative works as well. Okay. So I do use my grandchildren and my daughters as models, really.